If you enjoy learning the Cherokee language with RSU TV, join our Signal Society. Your monthly gift of $10 a month ensures that RSU TV can continue to produce programs like the Cherokee language classes. Click the link in the description or call 1-800-823-7210 to join today.
Welcome to Cherokee 2 here at RSU TV. Wade Blevins, Tawatong, Jalaketino, Unole, Tawatong.
My name is Kathy Sierra, Chalakat, Keletauton, Galealix Guaitichiluka.
All right, so welcome. This should be Tasko Nakine, Jalaki Adelo Quasti, the 24th Cherokee lesson. So 24, that means you have made it halfway through. So we're halfway through all of the lessons, and we're right in the middle of a big, huge story about a man wanting to marry a witch's daughter. So we've got a lot that to do today. So come, Irlena.
Okay.
Okay, so our reading selection today, well, that's interesting. Put it in, I don't know, a different font. But, all right, so again, this is our reading selection, our reading practice. So this says, Mo si I ga yi u wo we la na hi. I always get mixed up with this one. I can't tell if it's we or ka. Uwo hue lanahi. Sudaline. Ayatotla agayi udalka. All right, so Mosi igayi, first Moses, right? Uwe uwo hue lanahi. Uwo hue lana. His writings. Sudaline Ayatotla, 6th chapter. Akayi Udalka, the first verse, correct? And so this one I thought would be pretty easy to read. If we look at the English, what the English says, it says, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them." So the reason why I thought it might be easy for our learners is because hopefully the word men, hopefully they know it by now, and earth, hopefully they know that one. So, and daughters, because we've been using that one a lot in our story about the witch's daughter. So hopefully I thought, well, a lot of these words they would recognize. So come, let's try to read our way through it. I will try first, and then Miss Kathy will read it for real. Okay? Hi ano nulstanei na gu yawi unlena ani goda diska ani goda diska. I know what the word means, but would you pronounce it for me?
Ani goda diska.
Ani goda diska. That's to increase, right? Ani goda diska. Elohim. Ale juneji. Ani gehyang. Go wana de nela. Okay, go wane. Go wana de. Go wana de nela.
Go wana de nela. You said it right.
That was a hard one for me. Okay.
It is.
Ano, this, nulstane, this happening, this happened, right? Nagu, and now. Youngwe, people, not specifically men, so that's Youngwe, people. Unlen, they started, right? Ani go the disk, to increase, right? Ani go the disk. Elohi on earth. So now the men started, or now people started to increase on earth, right? Ale and juneji. So we know the word uweji, juneji, plural,
Yes.
right? Juneji, more than one offspring, right? Ani gehya, okay? So female offspring or daughters. Gawana de nela, to gawana de nela, to be born, right? Would you go ahead and read this for us?
He anonuls tanei nago yawi una lena ani goda diska Elohi. Ala june jeni geha gawana de nela.
Gawana de nela. Okay. Would you say that for me one more time?
Gawana de nela.
Gawana de nela. Okay. All right. So that's our reading selection. Hopefully you were able to read your way through it pretty easily. If not, then you can always put it on pause and look it up character by character. I encourage you, if your reading is not where you would like it to be, to do that. That's how most speakers learn. They would take a piece of writing and they would have their little syllabary chart, and they would look it up one at a time and kind of muscle through.
Put it together.
And just kind of put it together. So, and you can do the same thing. I have every confidence that you can do it. Learning the syllabary is, the first step is just rote memory. It's just memorizing those characters. And then the next step is being able to put those words together properly and know when it changes its sound or when it drops a vowel or those kinds of things. And the only way you know that is just to do it and to improve your vocabulary. Okay? All right. So, this one, hadlohi. Get out. Now, I have heard people say hadloga. Have you ever heard it that way?
No, not for this word.
To you, what is that, hadloga?
Well,
would it make sense to you?
Yeah,
Like
it would you could still, I could probably make out what you're trying to say anyway, because of the hadlo.
Hadlo, yeah, the get out part. You get out. Yeah. Now, this is to get out of something, right? Like a car or a box. But you can't use this for like a house or anything. That's different.
Right. It's like when to me, it kind of is like step out, get out.
Yeah.
It's hadlo. It kind of means like get down.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's how my brain processes it.
Well, and that's so weird that you say that. Of course, I'm a learner as well, but every time I see this word, I think about getting off a bus and stepping off that step onto the ground.
Just like a
for
car.
some reason. Yeah. And so in my head, whenever I see, or we jatlohi, all y'all get off. I think of getting off a bus for some reason.
Yeah, that's how I see it too.
Yeah, isn't that odd? How our brains kind of work that way. Let's see. So what else? Other things could we get out of? We could get out of a box. We could get out of a car, bus.
Off the porch.
Off the porch. Stepping down off the porch. What else?
Even like if your child's on a bed. Hadlohi.
Hadlohi.
Yeah.
Get off on that case.
Uh-huh.
Now, what about a horse?
Yes.
Can you use this to get off a horse?
Yes.
Okay.
An animal.
Hatlohi. Okay, so, which is really cool because you can use it in a lot of instances. For example, we learned like get in, right? And we learned get on, like to get on a horse, but you can't use those interchangeably.
Right.
You can't say like get on a car, you can, but it would mean something different than to get in a car. So, but this word hatlohi you can use for cars, you can use for horse, so you can use it in a lot of different. What else? What else could we use that? I guess. What about if your cat was on the kitchen counter?
Yeah, you could tell him.
Hatlohi. Get off.
Yeah.
Get down.
Yeah. Anytime you're up a little bit and something, you want him to get down. That's just what you say. Hatlohi.
Hatlohi. Okay. Good. Now here's an odd question. Okay, but of course. Right now, we're really, my daughter is really into terrapins, so we're turtle rich right now. So, but what about when a turtle pokes his head out of like his shell, when he comes out of his shell? Would you use this verb or would you use a completely different word?
I think it'd be different because he is, like you said, putting his head out. It's a different word. So he's not coming out.
He's not coming out.
Yeah, he's not stepping down.
Yeah.
He's.
Or like even if like a groundhog's coming out of a hole.
Hinago'i. Come out. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So hinago'i. If it's like coming out, hatlohi, getting off something or anything that you have to kind of step out of. Okay. Okay, so last time I read the whole story. This time, would you mind reading the story for us?
I will try.
All right.
Ska ilahi utikesa askili ehe. Agayalike ale unegilta gese. Uwechi agehya uwe kaha. Doyu uwodu gese. Aliwi du doa. Squistosa aniskaya unadulihe unihanti aliwi. Uji hii niduwe sela. Agayi gahusti nichatanti. Nichitane lana yiki yika lugi. Hiloski aniskaya una neltane yundati askili atayohiha. Tlaskini eli yinanda nehe. Jul konati nitega nehe aniskaya. No guno da gasteske. Ugawiyu wedge askai utagane uwodu wedge age huja askili uwe kaha. Udoda unosele. Anna dagese awaduli jiyanti aliwi nole askili dajili. Tlata udane ugawiyu. Yitena doyu askili dajakstesi. Utagan uwej askai unsine ale udlaje. Kalkogi judetia ganili ganke. Tla aganakt eli yuna wiske. Ugawiyu udelohos tla udivska uwejia tuj unosele. Huena aliwi je doha tla yaguanta yusti na godante jadivsti. Utökan uwed. Udita he kanil. Divse. Uliheli jona. Nola. Wukilan sokwal aliwi ale. Askele dine donha du wuktana. Ukilada agoti. Wugo he gohust. Gatus eliske. Naa wulutse. Ugo he askaya. Uskåli gesa. Gado ga ne. Na galjohid askaya. Ugo he na ugawiyu uweti. Udidaha ugawiyu wed unosela. Itaduli gastelti skinala öga. Gado hiya töga Hiadöga hiljohida utödönenä askaya. Llydögo hushiki yiti ne kuuga joi yakayali udane galjohid askaya. Do yiki yika na llöga ago sele galjohida askaya. Ajistawada sana ugawiyu uweti. Si wana isa skile ala uwet unena satila. Wunilu te inake so I askaya wunigo he. Gado
Ganke.
Gado ganke kaleni wu no le gado. Gado hatane.
Hadane.
Oh God, gado hatane. I'm getting mixed up. Gado hatane utadane ugawiyu uweti. Gatadas dida udane soi askaya. Gada us ja tadasti utadane ugawiyu weti. Tadasti nikalstani doha nika Elohi. Nikata gatagag. Ganula gataskusku gatagi. Ganula gataskusku
Yeah.
gatagi udane askaya. Skinohisa udane ugawiwed. Gada ust hatagi skili ala uwedi ani nela dila. Gatagi askaya uskol
Yeah.
gado gohoska. Kilo uneltane uhisti aliwi aseskino unulane.
All right. Well done.
Oh,
Thank
we got
you.
it.
We got it. We made it all the way through. Okay. So this says, Doten yik hika na klug skistawa de ga udane ugawi uwej. So we have this ski here again that we talked about, which means you to me, right? Mm-hmm. Like you help me ski stay li ski. Ski star with the gong. So this would be you follow me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's another beginning in here, this gun. G that I want to point out to our learners. And this G goes the opposite way, right? It's me to you, correct? Like, for example, a lot of people translate G, ge, you, I, right? Like, I love you. So it's me to you. Or G, I can't think of, let's see,
The G. Like Galaguda.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
you.
I like you. Galaguda. Galaguda. And well, we'll look at it. But let's be aware. And as we're reading, let's look for this ski and look for this G. So ski is you to me. G is me to you. And of course, this ye is if in this case. If it's true, ye gana plug, that's I will hire you, right? I'll hire you. You follow me, right? So he's telling him, follow me, right? So utane ugo iu, it's the prince, right? This ye, a lot of times we translate this as if, right? Or if there's a kla in there somewhere, then we know it makes it negative, right? But I've noticed in this story as I read, and I'll try to find some more examples, we have this ye and a ye. So it seems like there might be a pattern there. Like, if you do this, then I will do this. I mean, like, it seems like it's.
I know what you're trying to say, but it's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah. But I've seen it several different times in the story. It's like, and so it's like, well, if this, then this will happen, and ye is in both of them. And so ye seems to also indicate something that's not a done deal, not for certain, not.
Okay. Now the next word, I have to. So it's two men that he's telling. It's not just him. It's just not the ugawiyu wedge anymore.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
skinny stawatuga.
Skinny stawa.
Yeah, that's to make it right and plural. You'd have to put that in skinny stawatuga, or I guess.
Do or duh.
I say do.
Yeah, I think that's a dialect thing.
I think so too.
Skinny stawaduga. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that sounds more. That's better.
Okay. Dotan yik cannot plug. If that's true, then I'll hire you, right? Skinny stawaduga. You two follow me, right? Utane ugawiyu uwedge. So
It's really you follow us too, because he's with someone.
You follow us.
Yeah.
Na askaya digali squotan, which we'll talk about this word in a minute. Ustawadasa ugawiyu wedge. So na askaya, the man, digali squotan is with big ears. The big-eared man, digali squotan, ustawadasa, followed. Followed the prince, right? So this word is a really interesting word because it's in English they would call that like a contraction, right?
Okay.
You take two words and mash them together. So this we learned that word gatlan, digatlan both ears, right? And digali squatin.
Big.
Digali squatin, big, you know, like usqualin or usqualin, either way, I guess. Or what, big feet. How do you say big feet?
Dikalos. Now I can't say it.
Yeah. It's in my head.
It's in there, but it's all mixed up.
Yeah.
Dikalo. Oh, feet. So what's feet? Julostan.
Julostan.
Big feet.
If somebody says it, it'll come to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Diktulan.
Diktulan.
It's big eyes.
Big eyes, because it's also in some communities that's the word for a car.
Because of the big bright lights.
The big headlights.
Yeah.
So Diktulan. So that "an" here, when you see that, it usually indicates something that's large, right? So na Oskaya Dikalisko with the man with the big ears. Ustawadasan Ugawi. Would you read that one for us?
Na Oskaya Dikalisko Ustawadasa Ugawi.
All right, and the man with the big ears followed the prince. And let's take just a second. I think we have time to talk about. I know as a teacher, a lot of times, and I'm sure you do too. Learners will come and they'll say, well, how do I say like baby, or how do I say my love, or how do I say, you know, like these little terms of endearment, you know, or like honey pie or sweetie, or do you ever get questions?
Oh, yes.
I get them all the time too.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, and I have to tell them, you know, it's like, well, we don't, I mean, yes, you can translate that, but it doesn't
mean the same
doesn't
thing.
make sense. Yeah, it doesn't mean the same thing. However, there are some common kind of like pet names, I think. You know, of course, Chuj is the most common. I mean, you know, every old person I've ever met in my whole life, you know.
I call every one of my grandsons Chuj.
I call, you know, I coach martial arts as well, and I call all my boys. I'll say, hey, Chuj, you know, come over here. And it's just, and so it's...
Mine's like Chuj, Chuji, Chujai.
You know, so we have these pet names. We do have pet names.
Yeah.
We just don't think of it. And I remember as a kid growing up, they would, I had a granny that used to call me Disquantni, you know, Disquantni, which is like you're like pigeon-toed, isn't it?
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
it's not bow-legged.
Some kind of, it's
like
the other way.
Yeah, I think, isn't that right? Disquantni? Tisquantni.
I'd have to look it up, Wade. I can't remember.
But I remember hearing that, not only from one of my grannies, but I remember there were other people in the community who would use this. And when I was talking to Phyllis, Digali Squatain, you know, and this would be another, I think, kind of pet name that people would call, you know, a grandkid or something like that. Digali Squatain, like if they had big old ears sticking out. Can you think of any others? I know there are others, and
it all depends on that child.
Yeah.
It all depends on if he has big ears, or you would call him that just as a pet name.
Yeah.
Or like if he fell down too much, you know, ganug. You would, just so many different things you would like to call him, because it's that specific child that does that, you know. So it's, there's so many things.
I had a godson that they called him Kiyuk,
Kiuk.
Because when he was a little baby, he had big old fat cheeks, you know, so they called him Kiuk, which means a chipmunk.
Yes.
You know, and that's what they ended up, you know, that's what they call him. You know, they still call him that, you know.
And a lot of times those children are named that in Cherokee, you know, that particular thing that they do or have.
Yep.
That's their name in Cherokee sometimes.
Yeah, it becomes their name. Well, that's my name, Unole, Unolehi. You know, my auntie named me that because I used to just tear through the house like a tornado, you know, and so that became my name.
My name, Kelly, is kind of like Keldito. It's like someone that's with someone all the time, or around a group of people all the time, Keldito.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where they say it comes from. It's so a lot of people think it's short for Kathy, but it's not. It's really a word, you know. But that's,
it didn't even dawn on me. Yeah, but like that, Kaylee. Yeah.
Keldito.
Keldito.
And so I always thought that was cute, the way that's said. But that's one thing I know.
Yeah.
So, but and I don't know why. Maybe they thought I was going to be that way because I was always with someone.
Yeah, maybe he was always. Yeah. Okay. So did we already read this one? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay, let's go to the next one. Ukedali uniluta. Oh yeah, okay. Ukedali uniluta aniskaya. The men uniluta
Got there.
got to Ukedali, a valley, right? Ukedali. Would you read that one for us?
Uketalia wunilucha aniskaya.
Okay. Ukedalia uniluta aniskaya. Yeah, men came to the valley. We were right. Okay. De lostan ale yetliwu dikanerskan we do need go. Hey. Now this is going to be an interesting one. De lostan feet. Ale yetliwu and only half. Right?
Yeah.
The kind of skin of their legs. We do need to go. They saw.
Sing, yeah.
So they only saw the feet and half of their legs, right? Is that how you would?
Dikaneskan. Yeah. De la stanale ayeslu dikaneskan we do need go. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what makes.
Okay. Now, is there a difference between Julastan and Delastan?
Julastan is your feet.
Okay.
Julastan. Delastan is probably you're talking about both feet, just
Like,
both feet.
like somebody's feet. We don't know whose they are. They're just feet. Okay.
So, depending on who you're talking about there, it could be Julastan ayeslu dikana scan with duniko.
Okay. So let's see how close we got in the translation.
Okay.
They saw feet and part of some legs. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, would there be another way that you would, like, if you were going to talk to somebody and you say, well, I could only see, you know, a little bit or part of their legs, would you use this ayetli or would you use a different word? Some, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, and we had this discussion, Peggy and I did, when we were talking about this, you know, and she was like, well, you know, like stee, but that's like, she's like, but that doesn't quite fit right, you know, and, you know, stee means like a little bit, but that's more like, it's different, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody would know if you said, you know,
yeah.
Stee digana skin. They'd be like, oh, well, I know.
Stikitu.
Yeah.
Dedikote.
Dedikote, yeah. Sehno tla unigo he uyen but asehno, but tla unigo he, they didn't see uyela, they didn't see his body. Ah, would you read that one for us?
Sehno tla unigo he uyela.
Okay, we're good there. So far so good. Anaisa, akadalia, akedalia, unigohe ayela, ale usk, unigohe askai inigad ujele. Oh man. All right. So anaisa, they walked. Akedalia, the through the valley. Is that right? Or in the valley, or I guess it didn't matter. Unigohe, they saw. Ayela, a body. Not his body, but a body, right? Ale, and usk. Here's that word, askol. And a skull, and a head. Unigohe, askai, inikad. Okay. Unigohe. So I think there should maybe be a period after usk, don't you think?
Anaisa, akedalia, unigohe ayela, ale usk.
Unigohe, askaya, inikad, ujele. To me, that's two separate sentences. Is it?
It could be, yeah. It might sound. It might. You could understand it better probably if you made it into two.
Let's put a period in there, because. All right. Okay. Unigohe, they saw askai inigad, a tall man, ujele. Okay, ujele, that means like his, right? It belongs to him. So, are they referring to that all of these things that we've talked about before, the feet, the legs, the body, and the head, belong to this man? Is that
I
why
would
Ujeli is
have
there?
put it in a different order, only to make more sense for me. Would be inik askai unigo askaya inik ujeli unigo.
So you'd put the verb
I
at the
think
end.
so, to make it more understandable. Ale anaisa ketalia unigo ayela ale usk. Na inik askaya is what I would have put probably. No.
Okay.
Made it simpler, yeah.
Askaya unigohe. So oh, I messed it up. All right. So let's see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
As they continued through the valley on Naisa, Ukadalia, they saw his body and the head of a really tall man. Okay. So does that pretty much say? Yeah.
That anaisa, is it more than one?
Yes.
Well, I would say
Yeah.
wanaisa,
Wanaisa.
just because it's more than one person.
Okay. Wanaisa.
Yeah.
Okay. And I always get confused with that because sometimes that "wa" sound is there when you talk about the past, and sometimes it's left out,
Yeah.
and I can't figure out when. But I
Yeah.
know that
I mean,
if I hear it enough, it will just start to make sense to me because it's already kind of, I'm on the edge of being able to guess. But,
Yes,
you know,
almost there.
yeah, I'm almost there. My brain is almost ready to acquire that.
But what you did it makes sense.
Okay, so okay, let's see. We've got a little bit of time here. So let's go through, and I'll do my best to read through it, and then maybe if we have time, then maybe you can read through it for me. Okay. Okay. So come. Nope, wrong one. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'll try to read slow. Ilahiu chakesa askili ehe akayeleke ale unegilti gese uwech ageha uwekaha doyu uwoduhi gese alui du doe Squeestosa aniskaya undulihe unianti alwi uchi hi'i ni du we se le. A cơ yi go hus di ni cha da di. Ni cha da ne learn. Ni cha da ne learn na yi ki. Yi ga lu ki. He learns ani sky un anel tana un atante askili atayohi ha klaskin eli yinan danehe is that right?
Yep.
Julini Konadi, that's taking a knee, right? Julini Konadi. Nidegane he aniskaya. No no degox deske. Am I close?
Yep. Yep.
All right. Ugawi yuhi uwej askaya utagane uwodu uwej agehuja askili uwe kaha. Oh, I'm reading too fast. I'm getting excited,
Yeah.
so I'm starting to speed up. Let me do this sentence again. Let me go slower, so you guys that are reading along can read along. Ugawi yuhi uwej askaya utagane uwodu uwej agehuja askili uwe kaha udoda uno sele una dagesi awaduli gianti alawi nole askili dajikli Kladan udane ugawiyuhi yijena doyu askili dagejakstesi utagane uwej askaya unsine ale udleje galskog judetiad ganitli gange Kla aganakti ele unahuiske ugawiyuhi udelohose kla udivske uwej achuj unosele huena alewi jedoha Kla Yagwant, Kla Yagwanta, Yusti, Nagwadanti, Jadiusti, Utagane, Uwej, Udidaha, Ganitli, Udiusa, Uliheli Jona, Nole, Wukilana, Sogwili, Aliwi, Ale, Ashkili, Di Nedoha, Dubuk Tane, Ukilad, Agod, Wugohe, Gohusti, Gadus Eliske, Naa, Wulutse, Ugohe, Askaya, Usquotli, Gese. Gesa Gadon Gatne Na Gal Johit Askaya Ugohe Na Ugawiyu Uwej Udida Ugawiyu Uwej Unosele Yitaduli Gustelti Skina Ga. Good so far?
Ost.
Gato Hyadurga. Gato Hyadurga. Heel Joe hit. That's that word. We stumble over that word every time. Gato Hyadurga. He'll johit utadane na askaya. Kladan gohust yige. Yijine goga. Join yakayel udane gal johit askaya. Doyik yigana klug. Yigana kluga. Ago sele gal johit askaya. Aji stawadasa na ugawiyu uwej. Si wana ise. Skili ale uwej unenasa didla. Unilutsa inage. Soe askaya. Unigohe. Gadon gange. Gatlen wunot. Tle gadon. Gado hadane. Utadane. Ugawiyu uwej. Buka kadasta. Gatadastida. Udane. Soe askaya. Gato usti. Stadasti. Utadane. Ugawiyu uwej. Aktadasti. Nigalstanido. Nika Elohi. Nigada. Gataga. Nigada. I hear everything. Giataga. Is that right? Nigada gataga.
Gatagug. I think Gatagug.
Gatagug. I think that's right. Yeah. Ganula. Gataskasqua. Gataskasqua. Gatagi. Udane askaya. Skinoha si. Udane ugawiyu uwej. Gado usti. Hatagi. Skili ale uwej. Aninel didla. Gatagi askaya. Uskol. Gadon. Gohoska. Kilon. Unel tane. Uhianti aliwi. Aseskino. Unulane. He failed. Doda yik. Yigan na tlerga. Ski stawadaga. Or skinny stawadaga. Udane ugawiyu uweji. Na askaya. Digali squatena. Ustawadasa. Ugawiyu uwej. Ukedalia. The valley. Unilutsa aniskaya. Dilasten. Ale ayetlewo. Dikana skeni. We do go. We do need go. Hey. Senon tla uni go. Hey. Uyela. Anaisa. Akedalia. Uni go. Hey. Ayela. Ale. Uska. Unigohe askaya in Inikoto ujele. Woo, man, that took a long time, and that took all of our time.
Yep.
So when we come back next time, we'll have you read for us. So all of us here at RSU TV for Cherokee 2, I just want to say, wadon.
Don Dago, huh?